Howdy. Welcome back, everyone. This is game 2 of myself against Magic Geek. So this is the round of 16 of the World Tournament 2023. First game came out yesterday, the 2% one. If you haven't watched that, again, I'm giving you a few seconds to go watch that one before I spoil it for you. So that one was a really close race, very fast start from the Fellowship, just barely closed out to turn 6, Shadow Player, military victory. So here we are for game 2, so I'm Free Peoples this time, and he's the Shadow Player. So I like to look at my opponent's games, just a couple of them anyway, just to get an idea of how they play. It doesn't usually, give me any particularly huge advantage, but just sometimes seeing like if they value a certain card a certain like a little more or a little less than I would, then it's just something I could keep an eye out for anyway. And I noticed that he allocates 3 eyes on turn 1 every time and continues to do so for most of the game. So let's just give that a start anyway. So yep, there you go. So he allocates 3 eyes and he rolls 1 more and I roll that. So this is a really exciting one for me. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge a few things before we really dive into the game. This is going to be a long one, so go get some popcorn, go get a coffee, whatever is appropriate for the time of day. Anyone, it's going to be a long one. But yeah, so a corruption style like this, a few notes on it. So the idea anyway is that you would like to hit the Fellowship a lot, and you just corrupt them out so horribly that win condition is eliminated, that is just removed off the face of the earth. So that's what he's playing for right now. The other win condition, of course, is that the Free Peoples can go for is a Free Peoples military victory. So you do also have to watch out for that and defend against that. The idea being if you just eliminate both of your opponent's win conditions, then they can't win. And sooner or later, you will win with one of your own. So the way to play against this is you can either, bolster up and go for Free People's military win, or you can try to move slowly and cycle character cards to try to get good healing value for the Fellowship and, still succeed in climbing up Mount Doom and dunking the ring anyway. So I'm certainly open to Free People's military wins, but they can be very luck dependent, and just a single turn of bad luck, with like a big army that you've sallied out with can completely foil that attempt. So my gut inclination anyway is to go for a slow and steady, bulk up and defend kind of approach anyway. So let me first, so I put in 5 Galadriel. It would have been really nice to draw into Wizard Staff there. That would have been beautiful. But Bilbo Song's a good card too. Right, so a note on why I don't play a corruption style like this. When I first started playing the game, I thought that was the way to go. Like, clearly, if you just hurt the Fellowship a lot, then you're buying yourself more time to get to 10 points anyway. And yeah, there you go. The reason I don't play like that now is because sometimes the Fellowship just keeps moving. It just doesn't get hit anyway. And then you've, set your military back significantly. So yeah, it just feels a little more luck dependent, and rushing a military win just feels a little more reliable to me personally anyway. This is absolutely a valid tactic. Like he's, like I said in the last video, like a 4-time world champ. So it's certainly a tactic, a way that can work. And I really respect that he keeps playing it, even though the majority of top players don't play like this and do a military rush instead. So I think that takes a real mental tenacity to say, you know what, I think my way works. I don't care if no one else plays it. I think it's good, and I'm going to keep doing it. So I really respect the heck out of that. That's amazing. Okay. Got anything else to say before we dig in? I think that's all anyway. Yeah, okay. So then he musters Sauron to war, which I was slightly surprised by, but like, I guess if he wanted to run an Old Forest Road, that's good. Let's see, did he have... Right, he has Pits of Mordor. That's why he wanted Sauron to war. Okay, so I move and I don't get hit. That's great. It's something like 52% odds to get hit on 4 dice like that. Like it's slightly more likely a 6 would have been rolled, but it's certainly not mind-blowing that one didn't get rolled. And that's why corruption could be so frustrating too. Like, and also like when you get to Mordor, even if like they're down to like Gollum and 9 corruption, sometimes they just pull a few blue tiles and play Bilbo Song and then they're fine, yeah, this game, it can swing pretty hard either way. It's very good at that. So let's see, I move troops first because I'm thinking I do want to move again because, like I do need to get there, and I would also like to kill Gandalf so I can get Gandalf the White. So I think I am going to move again, and I decide that I would rather do my second. I would rather do that second move last because there's decent odds I'd be revealed, and I don't want to give him the opportunity to put rerolls on me with the character die there. So he puts the red tile in, and I move again, and I'm hit this time, and it's a 3. So that's just perfect. 10 out of 10, best result possible. I don't know, maybe I should have played it even slower and kept trying to mine character cards for Wizard's Staff. But I don't know. If you really move too slow, then of course you do give his military time to get in gear. So I don't know. It's a balance as in all things. So he picks up Nazgul Strike, which is a perfect card for what he wants to do. So 3 eyes in again, and no more eyes rolled this time, and I roll 0 movement. So having those 2 Palantirs makes me wish a little bit that I still had Gandalf the Grey, but at the same time, like I wanted to cycle character cards to fight against corruption, and neither Athelas nor Bilbo's Song is particularly playable at the moment. So maybe I could have eaten the 3 as corruption and then switched to Strider, but I didn't have Athelas at the time, so like banking on picking up Athelas next turn would be a really weird decision. So anyway, I play King's Brandmen just to, cycle cards because yeehaw. He musters Isengard down a step. I use a ring to move once here because I think, especially against a corruption style like this, it's really important to keep moving at least once per turn because you're more likely to be safe this way, right? And I don't get hit, right? So getting those safe movements down is absolutely pivotal. Anyway, so in comes Saruman. I continue walking troops along just to get them in shape. He plays Pits of Mordor here. And I play Guards of the Citadel because, got to play something, right? I thought maybe I should have played Swords and Eriador here just to cycle more cards. But I don't know. It's just both seem fine to me. And he musters in a couple Nazgul. Okay, so I pick up Elven Rope and Spirit of Mordor. He picks up Lure of the Ring and Denethor's Folly. So again, 3 eyes, and away we go. I roll a Will of the West, but then no more movements. That's kind of a bummer because, I'd like to continue moving once for free without having to spend another ring. So I guess I'm going to get Gandalf the White and then spend another ring. It feels really bad having spent 2 rings by turn 3, but it kind of just feels necessary. Okay, so in comes 1 Elite into Moria. And you'll see his specific plan here, and I think this is a good way to play it. So he mustered up a bit in Moria and is going just to besiege Rivendell. It's kind of like fully not bothering with military pressure at all, and he just wants to besiege Rivendell to put rerolls on me because I haven't been revealed. And if you're going to hardcore go for corruption, then that absolutely is the way to play. Then you want to besiege Rivendell and then conquer, and then throw armies against Lorien and against Minas Tirith. And you don't really care about getting to 10 points. You just want to take those spots off the map because you don't want to give the Fellowship a spot to heal up at for free. Okay, so now I play Swords and Eriador just to cycle, in case I get Power 2 grade or something. So he continues moving along, and he's coming for Rivendell and for Lorien. So I decide to use a ring to move again now because, what do you call it? Again, I'd rather move without the rerolls. So I move again, and I'm hit this time, so that's a bummer, and it's a 2. So I just eat the 2 corruption because I have Athelas, and I really don't want to risk losing Strider before I play Athelas. Okay, so he besieges Rivendell. I muster the elves down another step because I'm thinking, at least this way I'm forcing him to use a ring to get closer to Lorien, but he's, again, more uninterested in military progress than I had anticipated. So he plays Nazgul Strike now, which makes a lot of sense. Right, and puts a Nazgul there on Old Ford in case I decide to go through not Moria, and he rolls, and he gets 2 hits, and he draws a 3. So I eat all that as corruption too, because again, I just don't want to lose Strider before I play Athelas. And this way I have a full, if I get 3 hits, then I get all 3 value for it. So, okay, so he picks up Day Without Dawn and Ring Wraiths Are Abroad. I pick up Axe and Bow and Amber. So I'm very happy to see Axe and Bow. That's, like 1 free corruption. Normally it's not really worth it when you're in a usual race, but when you're really fighting for every corruption point, then it's a big deal. So I declare in Dimril Dale because I'd rather not get revealed through Moria. That's just like free extra tile draws for him. And also, I'm only on one reroll this way instead of two in Rivendell. So it does open me up to more cards, like Orc Patrol, Foul Thing, Isildur, or Candles. But yeah, the reasons I just said anyway. So it can go 3 eyes, and he rolls 2 more, and I roll this. So the plan for the turn kind of spells itself out for me. I'm going to move once, because again, you still want to move once per turn. And then with that extra movement, then I will be able to separate Strider to Minas Tirith and crown him. So I'm going to play Athelas first before I go. So I'm going to move once, play Athelas, separate him, crown him. Because especially against, this corruption-heavy strategy, I'm still keeping my eyes out for a Free People's Military attempt. And just having that extra dice, there's going to be a lot of turns to this game. So that extra die is going to pay off a lot in the long run, I think. So I go ahead and move before he puts a second reroll on me. I get hit anyway, so it's an eye, so that's okay. 1 damage and revealed, certainly not the end of the world. So he moves towards Lorien and towards Gondor. I hide the Fellowship. So I hid the Fellowship first, partially because that way I can use Strider's ability one last time before he leaves, and also because then I'm kind of, threatening, like, what if I move again? You probably want to put more rerolls on me, right? And this way he does not besiege Lorien. I've been actually really kicking myself for mustering the elves, because with these 3 dice, he could have gone step, attack, and then the elves would be at war, and then he could get the Witch King. But this way, because it's putting pressure on him to put more rerolls on me, he chose to go for rerolls instead of the Witch King right now. So now I play Athelas, and I only roll 1 hit. So that's just really frustrating. When in a game where literally every corruption point is going to count, like expected is 2. You think if you're going to get not something like that, is more likely to get 3 than anything else. Getting only 1 just really hurts. That felt so bad. So then I separate Strider, and then he tries to play Day Without Dawn, but then I point out that the Southrons are not at war, so he can't play Day Without Dawn yet. So anyway, here we are. Then, yeah, Crown Aragorn, Gondor's active, and I'm up to 6 dice. So that feels nice anyway. Yeah, I check there and back again because, yeah, it's pretty useless. Okay, he draws Black Captain commands, and Shadow is moving. Say Fellowship, okay, he puts in, again, 3 eyes, yeah, it rolls 1 more, and I roll this kind of move. So, yeah, in a sprinting game, this much movement would be great. In this game, it's kind of, it's just okay, because I don't want to move more than once a turn, really. So I go ahead. No, oh, right. I play Axe and Bow first. That makes sense. The other plus side is I can use these character dice to just play character cards and then use my Palantir and my Will of the West to just draw more character cards. So there's something to that anyway. Okay, so now the Southrons are at war. So I think he wanted me to panic into using my Will of the West, but I chose to just not because I would rather he play Day Without Dawn now just to get it out of the way so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I go ahead and move, and I'm hit. So that's a bummer. So there's another eye for 1 damage and revealed. So I hit Axe and Bow with it. Maybe I'm realizing now, I didn't even think about it at the time, but I think I actually should have headed south to heal up at Minas Tirith. Like, since I have all the time in the world, maybe I should have stopped to heal. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Anyway, I went that way because I was expecting this army to chase me, to put more rerolls on me, and I wanted to lead them further away. Like, if he's going to waste his time putting rerolls on me, then I want him to be stuck doing that out here in the boonies and not right, next to where where attacks are helpful anyway. So that was my thinking. So I go ahead and hide. Then he plays Shadow is moving, and he gets gets all of his troops out here in the boonies to put rerolls on me. So here we are. Then I draw a character card. He musters up in North Dunland, and then I play Ents here mainly just to get cards out of the way. I get, was it 1 hit? Yeah, 1 hit. And then I play Elven Rope, mainly just so I have more room in my hand to draw more character cards is the plan at this point. And he musters up more in North Dunland. I draw another character card. I thought at the time that he was mustering these troops to come and actually conquer Rivendell. As will be seen, he mainly just wanted to defend Moria from Free People's military attempts. Credit to him, he really committed and played unashamedly after corruption. Yeah. But anyway, 3 eyes in, 1 more rolled? No more rolled. Wait, how many dice does he have? He has 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 8 dice, that's right. Okay, I guess I just thought he should have the Witch King by now, so it looked like one too few dice. Anyway, I roll this roll with a bunch of Palantirs, which is normally kind of useless, but I'm not complaining right now because that, again, is just what I'm looking for. So I go ahead and move once with the Will of the West because I guess I'm thinking if I get hit and revealed, I would like to be able to hide again and not just sit here while he can, maybe play Mortal Wound, maybe play, Lure or Breaking. So I'd rather be able to hide again this turn, anyway, is my reasoning. And I'm safe, so that's nice. That feels really good. Like, every safe movement is a big deal. He puts the Palantir of Orthanc down, so now I a little bit regret leading with the Will of the West there. I play Eomer. I'm just, I get clearing room in my hands. I could give him a ring to get rid of the Palantir here, but because I'm on 6 dice, it's fairly likely I'll roll Will of the West next turn, and he only has 1 Palantir to cycle with this turn, so I would rather save my ring and hopefully get rid of it the less expensive way. So he attacks Rivendell now, pretty much just to get the Elves at war, I think. He says no card. I play Confusion just because. So 1 hit back to him, no hits to me. But now the Elves are at war. I try to pass and then realize, of course, I can't pass because I have more dice than he does. So I go ahead and play Power 2 Great now, too. I wasn't playing it before because I specifically didn't want to put the Elves at war to let him have the Witch King. But now that the Elves are at war, I might as well put it out there. It clears out my hand a bit, and it, what do you call it? Obviously inconveniences his attack against Rivendell and maybe Lorien if he comes back for it. So out comes the Witch King. I draw another character card. He plays Black Captain commands to, spread out his armies more to increase the odds of rerolls here. I muster in Lorien. He moves those armies to Moria and to there. So now he's done a good job of making it so that if I don't move again, no matter where I declare, there's still rerolls on me. So I decide I might as well go ahead and move again. It is more likely that I get revealed, but at the same time, there's 4 tiles in there that I don't get revealed, and it's even possible that I just don't get hit. So I decide to move again and probably get hit just for the chance of getting to move without rerolls, because that would be great. So I do get hit. I get hit twice, but it's a 2, so that's perfect. So I don't get revealed, and away we go. So this is actually, in hindsight, this is even worse. I really should have gone south, because with the 2 movement not revealed, I could have declared a Minas Tirith there. And, what are the odds he can conquer Minas Tirith next turn? Not that good. Maybe, there is a decent amount of army here, but it is also up against Aragorn. And it's already a 3/2/4. Maybe this is better. I don't know. So I declare in No Man's Lands. He's just realizing now that he forgot to draw another card after Palantir. I didn't notice. I didn't notice it during the game, and I also didn't notice it during the replay here either. But very, very relatable. I forget to do Palantir or Ornrosor and Toil draws all the time. Okay, so he puts in 3 eyes. I'm a little surprised he didn't just go ahead and put 4 eyes in, honestly, because at this point you are so committed to not military that why not? You can put in 4 eyes, might as well just increase the odds. Turns out he rolls 2 more eyes anyway, so that works out fine for him. So I roll 2 movement, so I probably can get to Mordor this turn, but should I, is the question. So, of course, I move right away because 5 dice is less likely to hit than 7, and he can, use a ring to walk these rerolls onto me again. So I move, and I get hit, and it's a 1. So I take it as 1 just because, if I take a random, then... if I lose Boromir or Gimli, then it's inefficient, and efficiency is absolutely key here when corruption matters this much. So he plays Shelob and draws into Ornrosor and Toil. I could move again here, but I decide to give him a ring to get rid of Palantir here, just because he still has 2 more Palantirs, and it's still a pretty big character deck, so I'd rather he didn't get to cycle and do it faster. Okay, what else does he have here? Ornrosor and Toil, Lure of the Ring. Yeah. Okay, so he plays Ornrosor and Toil, and my life becomes the worst, because I would really rather save There's Another Way and Bilbo's Song for when I'm down to Gollum, but they're both healing points, and I really don't want to risk losing them as I lose Gimli and Boromir here. So I decide to just, play all the cards. So I play a blue tile first. He passes. Then I play There's Another Way just to heal one. Then he uses a ring to draw another character card. And then I use this other character die to play Bilbo's Song, because if I move again, I'm almost definitely going to get hit and probably revealed and then hit again. And I would rather be able to lose Gimli and Boromir happily and peacefully. And I doing that and losing Bilbo's Song at the same time and not getting any healing for it would just hurt too much. So, and besides, this way he still hasn't put rerolls on me, and he just used a ring. So unless he had, actually he did have Ring Race Robot, so he could do that again. I'm a little surprised he didn't do that actually. And this way, now I get to move again without rerolls. So I muster Gondor closer to war because I'm definitely, worried about them coming after Erebor. So on we go to the next turn. I pick up House of the Stewards, so I'm very fine with losing either of these cards, so it will be a good time to lose companions. Fellowship, okay. And this time he does just go ahead and put 4 eyes in, and then doesn't roll anymore, and I roll that. So this makes me more content as well with my decision to use my last ring to get rid of the Palantir, because I still haven't rolled another Will of the West. It's been 12 dice since then, still no Will of the West. So I go ahead and move because, again, of course, he can put more rerolls on me, and I'm safe. So that's huge. That's a really big deal for me. So he moves south. I see what the plan is here. I didn't... No, actually, I guess I did figure this out, but only a little bit late. He just wants to cycle character cards. So he has like Lidless Eye and Ring Rates or Abroad. He can cycle both of those and hope for, Cruel Weather, or maybe Nazgul Search. Nazgul Search would also be a reasonable option. Or, of course, Orc Patrol, Foul Thing, Isildur. All 3 of those would have a fantastic odds of revealing me and then doing even more damage. So I move like this, which I hadn't appreciated, actually, how good of a move that is. What I was thinking at the time is that backup is a little ways away, and this way I have a 1 hit point advantage on him, a Captain of the West, and 1 leadership advantage on him. So if he attacks me, I have Brave Stand, I have a Heroic Death, I have a Valor, I have a Daylight. Like, I think I could win this fight with those 2 regulars anyway. So that was my main purpose in doing that. But I'm just realizing, actually, that I also deprived him of an easy target to cycle rerolls off of by removing those 2 regulars from Osgiliath. So I wish I'd done that more on purpose. But anyway, so he uses a character die to move just that army to Osgiliath, which I'm a little surprised by. I think if I were... Anyway, so I draw another character card because what else is there to do? Then he attacks Pelargir. Cycles Words of Power there. I use Scouts here, and at first I retreated to Laemden, but then I realized he wants to go towards Dol Amroth anyway. So if I retreat to Laemden, I'm just giving him another chance to cycle a character card. So at this point, I was actually regretting playing Scouts at all. I would much rather I'd just let him die so that he doesn't get to cycle any more cards. So I choose to retreat to Lasarnik instead, just so that it's more inconvenient for him to get more rerolls. He cycles into Candles of Corpses. That's a yiker for me for sure. I draw another character card. It's Great Company. That's a decent card. He plays Candles of Corpses and gets 0 hits. So that's really bad. That's let's see, that's 1 in 8. I think that's close to as bad as Athelas only healing with 1 with Strider. Like, of course, if I was going to take both those deals together, I'm quite happy with that. At the time, of course, I was quite frustrated with Athelas. So I go ahead and play Ents here. I get 2 more hits, and then I play Great Company. Just because might as well. Okay, so he gets his army together, and then I choose to move Aragorn out here, because the character deck is getting a lot smaller, and having Dead Men in hand, like if I drew Dead Men next, then I can just smack Pelargir with that and do a bunch of damage, and that would be pretty cool. So I choose to leave Gandalf in Fangorn. I actually know that I've already played all 3 Ent cards. I played 2 of them, and I discarded 1 of them. But leaving Gandalf there to be threatening and ominous is always there's always value there. It makes the Shadow player play a lot more restrainedly. Okay, so I pick up. We prove the Swifter and the Red Arrow. That's it's mediocre. It's not great. He picks up Nazgul. Now he picks up Nazgul Search. Oh, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. I think picking up Cruel Weather here would have been even worse, but Nazgul Search there also sucks for sure. Okay. Be right back. Okay. Take 2. Well, not take 2. Next chapter anyway. Okay, so we're off to Mordor at net -2 corruption. All the healing cards are gone though, like Othalos, Bilbo Song. There's another way. That's all three. I guess I Will Go Alone is technically a healing card, but it's just neutral though, really. Horn of Gondor is still out there. Mithril Code and Sting, and I think one more blue tile is still out there. Also, Challenge of the King. Challenge of the King. So that's what I have to fish for. He still has. Let's see. Lidless Eye can be useful in the right circumstance, but not usually. It's usually only useful if you're on 10 points and you need to make it so that if the Three Peoples tries to finish this turn, they're going to die. We're not really going to be in that situation because, it's turn 9 and he's got 1 point. So, Nazgul Search is obviously kind of useless. Lure of the Ring is definitely worth playing in the corruption style. He still has all 3 tile drawing cards to fish for. Isildur's Bane, Foul Thing, Orc Patrol, Morgul Wound, Breaking, and 1 more red tile. I think that's yep. So those are all the important cards left. Like, especially in endgames like this, just keeping track of which cards are still out there is very important. So he puts in 4 eyes, of course, and rolls 1 more. So I roll this, and what do I do here? I'm still a little worried about Day Without Dawn. Right, he still has it. Yeah, I was also thinking, like, maybe he's discarded it by now just to throw me off. But I decided, I'd rather not lose 2 dice for it, so I decided to pick up a character card first. There's I Will Go Alone, which I decided to immediately chuck again because, I don't know, it feels useless. So he attacks Lasarnik with the Witch King, I think, to get away from the threat of dead men and also to redraw a character card. So that makes sense. So I play Confusion here mainly just because, I've got too many cards, got to use them for something. So I get 1 hit against him, 1 hit for him. So there we go. And the whole army moves away. So what do I do here? Right, I draw another character card. It's a blue tile. Very happy to see another blue tile. He passes. I play the other blue tile. He brings in the mouth. I play the red arrow here. I really like leaving Aragorn in Edoras because he's safe there. Like, he can't be killed. But if I want to, then cards like the Red Arrow Riders of Theoden and Eomer show up, and I can make him with an army again for playing Challenger of the King. And of course, then he's still in Rohan, so he can still threaten dead men of Dunharrow. Anyway, he of course sees this and moves toward Aragorn now that he's vulnerable again. So I decide to move Aragorn over to Helm's Deep, and I put Gandalf there with him because might as well make him more threatening. And I know I can't play end cards anymore, so. He draws another character card. It's Grond. Now he checks Day Without Dawn. He's given up on playing it. And now I move the Fellowship. So I saved moving till the last because, again, it's very good odds that I'm going to be revealed here. And if I am revealed, he probably has cards, like Lure of the Ring, Morgul Wound, Breaking. All 3 of those are still out there. So I would rather minimize his opportunities to hit me while I'm revealed. So by moving last, if I get revealed, I get to move first again next turn, so then I can hide again. So it's a 2 reveal, though. So that is perfect. I remember thinking to myself, like, obviously, File or Smeagol Helps Nice Master would be even better. But after that, I would rather hit the 3 or the 2. And there's only that 3 and only that 2 left of the damaging, like, regular tiles that would allow me to kill Gimli efficiently here. Because being down to Boromir means that not only can he allocate 1 less die, he can only allocate 3 because I'm down to less companions. But also, if I hit an eye that does a lot of damage, I can efficiently kill all these companions at once. As opposed to right now, if I'd hit an eye, I would have only been able to kill Gimli, and then I'm still taking 3 more damage after that. So I'm very, very happy with this result here. And I'm happy, of course, to still have Boromir around because Horn of Gondor is still out there. I pick up Dead Men and Help Unlooked For. He chucks Shadows on the Misty Mountains and Olokai. Yeah, very committed to not military. So Ingo the 3 eyes, and he rolls away and gets 1 more eye, and I get this roll. Yeah, very frustrating stuff, because not only am I revealed and, open to the mercy of Lure of the Ring, Breaking, or Morgul Wound, but because I didn't roll any movement and I can't hide this turn, I take 1 corruption, guaranteed. There's no cards that can help me here. There's no ring to play to hide anyway. I take 1 corruption and I accomplish nothing this turn. Just really hurts. So anyway, I decide I we'll start getting ready anyway. If I am going to shift gears and go for a Free People's Military win, making Rohan strong and maybe taking Orthanc or maybe running around to get Dol Guldur. Those are options for sure. So I start mustering Rohan down. He had the red tile. I play Riders of Theoden because I'm kind of thinking that this army might move into West Emnet anyway. So I'd rather let him muster me down the rest of the way as opposed to doing it myself. That's why I play Riders Theoden first. Picks up a character card. It's Wormtongue. I pick up Mithril and Sting. He musters up an Orthanc a bit. I draw another character card. It's Wizard Staff. That's just great. He plays Lure of the Ring and hits a Hobbit. So that's a relief for me. It would have sucked if he hit Boromir. It still hurt that happened, but yeah. And Rohan comes to war. I'm a little surprised, actually, that he didn't play Breaking first. I guess let's look at the hunt pool. So all the blue tiles and the zeros would be fine. At least you're getting them out of the way. The ones would still do 1 damage. The 3s would be good. The red one would be pretty meh. It'd be okay, I guess. What happens if you draw Shelob? I don't even remember. But obviously drawing any of the eyes would be bad. So I'm actually pretty surprised he didn't play Lure. Didn't play Breaking. And if you were going to play Breaking, you would have wanted to play it first in case you do draw one of the 3s. Then you would get all 3 of those companions gone. I'm actually very surprised he didn't play Breaking there. Okay, so he attacks Minas Tirith. I decided to stick it out for a field battle because, lol, whatever, might as well. Okay, so he plays Grond, and I realized right after I did that, it's like, oh shoot, I just let him cycle cards again. I should have just let him besiege me. Anyway, so he forfeits his Nazgul leadership, and I play Daylight. So he gets 1 hit, I do 2 back. He presses, and now I retreat into a siege. And he draws into a Sealder's Bane, which is jolly. I muster up Morinhelm Deep, and now he plays a Sealder's Bane. Yeah, I'm just really surprised he didn't play Breaking here. He plays the Sealder's Bane, though, and gets the red one. So that's kind of a draw. It is doing more damage to me. But at the same time, it's 1 more red tile out of the way. So that's, right, and we discussed, I did look it up again. Mary does not trigger Worn with Sword and Toil by being killed by Lure of the Ring. So I guess he wants to, to be fair, with Breaking, there is always a chance that he pulls an Eye or Shelob, I guess. I think if you draw Shelob, it actually just does nothing. Because I know I've ran into it before, and I definitely don't remember rolling a die to see how many companions get eliminated. So I think if you pull Shelob, it's just gone. So maybe that's extra why he didn't want to do that. And of course, if, I get down to Gollum and I'm revealed, then it just does 1 corruption. So that is guaranteed progress that way. So I guess I can understand that. So he draws into Orc Patrol and Orcs multiplying again. I pick up Gwai here and Kindred of Glorfindel. I probably just chuck Gwai here. No, I chucked Help and Look For. That's right, because I'm thinking there is a chance that I'm going to take Boromir as a casualty here first. And then I would rather have more character cards to try to hide Mithril Code and Sting. So I'm less likely to lose Mithril Code and Sting if I do lose Boromir as a casualty here. And there's the 1 corruption for me not moving or hiding at all last turn. So he puts in 2 eyes. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so I at least roll movement this time. I hide with my Will of the West. He plays Orc Patrol and draws a 3. So that is doesn't feel good. So I choose to lose Boromir and the Hobbit here. What I realized shortly after is that there's only 3 cards left in the deck. And Horn of Gondor is still out there. A Sealder's Bane and Candles of Corpses have both already gone. I really should have actually just kept them and just taken the 3 corruption up to 9 because there's no surprise. Aha, you're dead. Unless I move in, I don't know, hit like a Shelob 6 or something, but that probably would have killed me anyway. So I really should have kept Boromir just so I could keep mining for Horn of Gondor. But anyway, I decided to lose them because it just does feel good getting down to Gollum. That way, if I run into... Right, here's the justification. All 3 of these ones, now I can reveal to make those into zeros. So that's my justification for Gollum. So we discuss and remember that Worn with Sword and Toil only takes away 1 card from me because when you use the Hobbit ability, it doesn't trigger. So he takes one, and I think it was Eagles Are Coming / Heroic Death. So I'm just very relieved it wasn't Mithril Coat and Sting. Anyway. So now I'm down to Golem, and I'm on 6 Corruption, and I'm on step 1. So that doesn't feel great. That doesn't feel great at all. So I draw another character card. Right, Challenge of the King. That's the one I'm looking for right now. So he attacks Minas Tirith. Valor against Foul Stench. He gets 1 hit. I get 2. So, tomato, tomato. He draws into Foul Thing. That's always nice. I draw another card. There's Challenge of the King. He musters up more North Ink. I play Mithril Coat and Sting on the table here. So I had to pick one to play now between Challenge of the King and Mithril Coat. And I decided Mithril Coat is better because, not only does it give me the option of dodging these 3 tiles, but I would also rather hit an eye right now than later. And I'm probably going to hit something that's not an eye and make Challenge of the King more likely to succeed next turn. So that's my thought anyway. Now he plays Orcs Multiplying again. I pass. He moves towards Minas Tirith. I pass again. He moves more towards Minas Tirith. I muster up in Dol Amroth because might as well. What else am I going to do? He draws another character card, and I move, and I get File. So that's just... Yeah. Oh, man. The sounds I made after that pull, that's such a big deal. Not only... to be fair, there's a lot of good tiles out for me. There's 4 zeros, 3 ones that I can make zeros, and then those 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles that would do nothing at all to me, but that's still the best one of them. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles that would hurt. The eyes wouldn't hurt that bad right now, though. So anyway, still definitely lucky to get that one, though, the one that actually heals me. That's, very, very powerful in a situation like this. So he attacks Minas Tirith. Flocks against Mirror of Galadriel. He gets 3 hits. I also get 3 hits. So there goes 1 leadership, and the elites are downgraded. He draws into Balrog. There's Horn of Gondor. Literally the last card in the deck, and I actually almost was still able to use it. That's, yeah, I definitely should have played that the other way. Okay, so there's Morgul Wound for him, which interestingly, if I hit Smeagol Helps Nice Master and then got revealed, then he could actually still get the double corruption value for Morgul Wound. But that's a very specific situation. Okay, so away goes Fighting Uruk-hai, and the other nice side to being down to Gollum is he can only allocate 1 eye per turn now. So I guess that's another argument for losing Boromir and Merry making sense anyway. Okay, so he allocates 1 eye and rolls 2 more. I get that roll. So I play Challenge of the King first. So I draw a 0 and a 1 and an eye. So that's okay. I got 1 eye out of this pool. Yeah, that's okay. Obviously getting the red eye out would have been huge. That's the one I really wanted to get, but at least he got something anyway. Okay, he musters up in Umbar. I muster up in Dol Amroth. He moves to West Emnet there and out towards Rivendell. I muster up some more in Helm's Deep and some more in Dol Amroth. Musters up more in Umbar. The military movements feel a little bit pointless, but still we obviously have to do something with these dice. We're really, it's just down to the tiles now pretty much. But yeah, obviously we still have to do something with these dice. So I play Kindred with Glorfindel because lol might as well. Especially for me, I'm just out of character cards to play, and he's only got 2 left. So I move, and it's a 1. That's just lovely. I reveal to it because he probably has a card or 2, but I have all the time in the world, and a character died to hide again right away, so might as well. Right, so he's just discarding Power 2 Great now. Yeah. But now he draws Cruel Weather, turn 13. If you're in a situation where it's turn 13 and you can still play Cruel Weather, you should have won the game already. Just saying, if the Fellowship was still on the map and he could play Cruel Weather, that's some horrendous luck for the Free Peoples there. Okay, so 3 characters, 2 Wills of the West. No more character cards to draw. I don't even remember what I do here. Right, I move right away because... Well, there's no more red tiles from Dad. But I guess there's a chance that he plays Lidless Eye or uses a ring to put another eye into the box anyway. I think Foul Thing is still out there too. Yeah, Foul Thing is still out there. So anyway, I move, and it's the red eye. And so I could eat it just to get it out of the way, but taking 3 damage for it is not good. So I decided to take the Mithril Coat for it instead and redraw into a 0. So that's great. So now he plays Foul Thing, and he gets an eye. So that is bad luck for him that he got an eye there. But at the same time, he, with his other 2 tile draws, he got a 1 and a 3. So with 3 tile draws to hurt me in Mordor, only one of them getting an eye is actually really good. Like, I think on the whole, that's still better luck for him than worse anyway. Okay, I must drop more in Bill Amroth and Helm's Deep because I definitely don't want to move again this turn. So when I say definitely, that sounds a little silly because out of the hunt pool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles win, 3 tiles don't. And Shelob and the 3 are going to be the same next turn either way. But there is the 1 in 11 chance that I hit the red eye. And the red eye would do 4 damage and reveal me right now, and I'm very confident that he probably has Morgul Wound. Unless it's literally the last card in the deck. So 4 damage, and then another one, then I'm down to 10, and then it's, then it's even more likely that next turn he'll roll 2 eyes again, and or roll even 1 more eye, and then these eyes would be lethal to me again. So it's a bit of a waste of time, because I would probably just win if I moved right now, but there is that, I am slightly improving my odds, and I have lost games on those horrible times where just like the 1% bad happens, and you that's how you learn. You learn by losing the hard way, and those lessons stick with you. So because of those horrible losses, I'm taking my time and being as patient as I think is helpful anyway. So I've got these dice to do nothing with while I wait for next turn and hope that there are less eyes. So he attacked Minas Tirith, Cool Weather against Shield Wall, 1 hit. He redraws into Deadful Spells. So now I know that he has Morgul Wound and Lidless Eye, unless he threw them out for some reason. Which seemed very unlikely to me. Like, with such a committed corruption strategy, it seemed very, very unlikely to me that he would throw out either of those. Okay, so he does keep his armies chugging along. I draw a strategy card because Lowell might as well. He attacks Minas Tirith, no card. He gets 1 hit. I get 1 hit. He presses. No hit, 2 hits. He presses, no card. So I guess he could play Desperate Battle here, but he's saving that, which makes a lot of sense. He gets 2 hits. I get 2 hits. He presses some more. No card. And he finishes off Minas Tirith. But they did a lot of damage on their way out, and I just picked up Paths of the Woses. I've got nothing better to do, so I go ahead and play it. I am giving him Helm's Deep pretty much, so he could take that and be up to 5 points, and then if he conquered Rivendell, he'd be up to 7 points. But I literally just need to move once next turn, and I have 6 dice, so it's 1 in 64 that I roll 0 movement next turn. And even then, could he get to 10 points next turn? Maybe. I don't think so, though. Anyway, and so the point of playing Paths of the Woses here, in my mind, was just to attack the Witch King in the mouth here, because the only way that I lose really is if next turn he rolls a bunch of eyes and I hit red eye and get repelled and then hit something else again and die. Or, of course, Shelob and the 3, but I can't change those. So the only reason I'm trying to kill the Witch King in the mouth is just so that there's 2 less dice to roll. It's very small odds that I'm chasing after here, but it's literally the only thing I can do that improves my situation at all. So I play Paths of the Woses. I'm coming after them. He chooses to retreat them and regroup in Osgiliath, though, which makes a lot of sense. So instead, I decide to, maybe I can get a Free People's Military win. Like, if he does roll a bunch of eyes and no musters or anything, maybe I can just, quick grab 4 points here. So he musters up once in Minas Morgul. I move to North Athelion again, and then he plays Musterings of Long Planned War. So that was a good call on his part saving that, because before, when it was just 1 elite, I could take that easy. But now, next turn, I could maybe besiege it, and then he could fight me, and then I'd have to stand and fight against them, and then conquer it. And then am I really strong enough to defend this and also go off and conquer another 2 points? Not really. Maybe the Elves of Lorien could muster up a bit more and come and get something, but the North and the Dwarves aren't at war, so I really don't like my chances of a Free People's Military win anymore after that. Okay, so Fellowship, okay, he puts in 1 eye and rolls only 1 more, so that's very nice for me. And I roll this situation again, so I figure I might as well move right away, because, again, he probably has Lidless Eye. And he could also use a ring to make the hunt box even worse. So I might as well move right away in case I hit the red eye. And guess what? It's the red eye. So turns out all of my waiting and my thoughts of assassinating was exactly the right play because I did hit that 1 in 11 red eye. So I'm very, very glad I waited because this would have been 4 damage if I ran into this last turn. But now it's only 2. So that's still bad for me because now, of course, he can hit me with Morgul Wound too, and there's another corruption. But yeah. Very glad I waited anyway. So I hide. I guess I didn't actually need to hide. No, I did need to hide because next turn I do, like, I know Breaking and Lure and Morgul Wound are all gone. So being revealed is not scary. What is scary is I want to be able to move right away again next turn because I don't want to give him time to, chuck more eyes in through Lidless Eye or through a ring. So that's why it's worth hiding right now. So he goes ahead and plays Lidless Eye now because, I think that makes sense. Just so that if I do move again right now, that there's those 2 eyes out there that would kill me. So I'm definitely not moving again this turn. So instead I attack Osgiliath. Going back to that Paths of the Wolves' plan where I try to kill the Witch King in the mouth. Gandalf shines. I play Mighty Attack just because it's against a fortification. So I get 1 hit naturally and 1 hit from Aragorn with the Mighty Attack. He gets 1 hit back. I press, he stands and fights. So I think to him, it looks like I'm coming after Minas Tirith to buy myself even more time. So he wants to lose regulars efficiently. But I just want the minions. So I decide to play Shield Wall first. I'm hoping he'll stick it out for me 1 more round, and then I'll play Sudden Strike and hope to assassinate them. So I get only 1 hit, which is a little bit annoying, and he gets 2 hits, so at least my Shield Wall comes in handy, and I only take 1 hit. So I press, and he stays again, so now I play Sudden Strike. Feels bad using Dead Men for not the event, but I have a much better shot of killing the minions right now with it, and that's the only thing that matters. So the Sudden Strike gets 3 hits, though. That's really big. That's so helpful. So now I just need 3 hits from the combat, and then I kill them. And I get 2 on the reroll and 2 more on the leader reroll. So I've got my 3 hits, and I've killed them both. So that feels so good. That next turn, it's less likely that he'll roll enough eyes to make those eyes lethal again, which is a big deal. So he attacks Helm's Deep because, might as well, start slugging off after the 10 points. I attack Minas Tirith because, again, it's probably doesn't matter at all, but you got to do something with your dice. I play Celeborn just to cycle into more strategy cards. Musters up in Minas Morgul. I play Power of Tom Bombadil. Again, we're really just wasting our dice because it's coming down to the tile draws here. He attacks Helm's Deep. He conquers it. So he gets up to 5 points. And here we go. So pretty much, we're both out of character cards. So we're both just drawing 1 strategy card at a time. So he is down to 8 dice because the Witch King and the Mouth both died. So obviously 1 goes in, and then he rolls 2 more, and I roll like this. So naturally, I have to move right away because if I wait, he can use a ring to put 1 more eye in and then 1 more die in, and then that would make eyes lethal. Whereas if I hit an eye, then I'm fine. It's if I hit anything except a red tile. Shelob might kill me in 1 shot. 3 would also hurt a lot. But here we go. So I move, and it's an eye. So I finish at 11 corruption on the button. Literally as close as it gets. And interestingly, you could argue that Paths of the Wolves play assassinating those 2 won me the game, because if those 2 dice had been allowed to roll, maybe one of them would have been an eye, and then this movement here would have killed me. Like, maybe I could have waited another round, but then I'm eating 1 corruption, and am I really going to hope he rolls even less eyes next time? Like, you kind of just got to risk it at that point. So, I say a long, brutal game. He says, no, that was short. I guess if you play corruption like this all the time, the games can be very long indeed. So, crazy game, very long one. Let's take a look at the stats here. So these are reversed. He got -6 on 6s, but +6 on 5s. That sounds about right. I got not hit on my first movement quite a bit and hit a lot on my second movement, so that makes sense. Plus a bit on movement. That doesn't really make any difference for a game like this, though. Overall, +2 on hits for me. +6 on musters, +2 on Palantir. So overall, I think the luck was a little bit in my favor, not like a ton, but a little bit anyway. It was a very close end. Interestingly, the red eye tile showed up 3 times over our 2-game series. Got Mithril coated away and came back. And of course, it was here the first game. Okay, back for one last little bit of recap. Right, did I have anything else to say? Yeah, no, it was a fun game. It was a long one, lots of thinking. I think we both made a couple mistakes, but on the whole, I think it was pretty well played. Was happy to get to play against him, one of the legends of the game for sure. Someone else I was talking to, I think Pockets anyway, who's been around a lot longer than I have, referred to him as one of the Mount Rushmore faces of the War of the Ring community online. So yeah, fun to get to play against him. Good games. I'm very happy to be making it to the quarterfinals anyway. A decent chance I'll lose. I'm going to be up against either Abani, Powdaddy, or Saved by him in the next round. I've never played against Abani before, but I know Powdaddy and Saved by him anyway. So if win or lose, I'm happy to have made it to the final 8 anyway. Some of you who watch my stuff repeatedly might remember me saying that it feels like I was going to lose in the first couple rounds. So I guess I'm wrong. The curse of making it to 4th place every year has... it works both ways. Like it curses me to lose in the end, but it curses me to win until then. So it's I guess it's a rough curse for my opponents to run into so far. We'll see if it lasts again this year or not. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know it was a long one. Hope it was fun for you. See you next time. Bye.